Hello fellow book nerds, this is Gabby and I'm getting old. So, it's my birthday! Well, I'm planning on posting this on the 14th of June, so tomorrow's my birthday. But anyway, it's my 24th birthday, which is terrifying because I didn't do anything for my birthday since it was pandemic, so I feel like I've never been 23, you know? Like I've been stuck in the house for my 23s. So yeah, I'm 24. And that means that in 365 days, I'll be 25. And 25 is a terrifying age because you're almost 30. Well, not quite, but okay, you're halfway there, you know what I mean? And once you're 30, like, you have to have your life figured out. And I was like, I don't have my life figured out. I don't even read books that I say I want to read. What do you want from me? Like, how? I definitely have been inspired by Becca from Becca's Books, because she did a video of 30 books she wants to read before she's 30, and I was like, that's a brilliant idea. I want to do something for my birthday, and I thought this would be a fun way to like reflect next year as well once I do turn 25. We're going to talk about 25 books I want to read before I'm 25. Okay, you're there with me for now. So the 25 books I want to read, they're not like, you know, that typical books you need to read before you die list. It's more like, this is my taste, this is what I want to read for my taste. And these are just books I've been putting off, and I feel like reading them before I'm 25 would be a nice like bookmark. I finished these books and it's good. I put a couple of full series in here, so these are like whole series I want to read in this year. And there's some just first books because I don't know if I really want to read the whole series, so I'm gonna dip my toe in. But many of these I'll be proud if I even dip my toe in. I think I'm gonna do a video in a year's time seeing how I did, like a check-in, and talk about to you about what I thought about these books. I probably won't read all of them. 25 specific books not connected to my every month TBR might be difficult. I might just forget, but you know what, it's fine. It's fine. We're having fun, we're vibing, we're celebrating my birthday. So we're just gonna talk about 25 books I want to read before I'm 25, and we're starting with fantasy. First couple entries on this list are fantasy, probably would consider classics, just staples of the genre. As a fantasy reader, I feel like I should read. I'm counting series as separate books as well. So the first series I want to read is the Lord of the Rings series by J.R.R. Tolkien. So probably doesn't need a preamble. We all know what Fellowship, what Lord of the Rings is. I've never read it. I've seen all the movies multiple times. Never read it. I bought this recently in a secondhand store for 7.5 quid. I know, steal. But yeah, anyway, I bought this recently. I really want to read it. I feel like I'll feel more complete once I have read these. I started reading Hobbit and I hated it so much. But I tried reading it in Polish, you know, maybe something was lost in translation. I know that's different than this. So I have hope for these. I think I'm going to enjoy them. I'm going to go into it with an open mind. But I am really hyped for these. Okay, the next 3 books is also one series, and it's the Assassin's Apprentice series by Robin Hobb. I'm not actually sure what the series is called. Is this Assassin's Apprentice? I think that's the first book. Anyway, that's the 3 books I want to read. I don't know that much about it, but I've heard that Robin Hobb is like a really good writer, and her series are really good. And she has multiple series, I think like 3 that are all connected with each other. So that's a lot of books to read. So I figured if in the next year I can at least read the first 3 books in the first series, or like if I can just read the first series, which is 3 books, I win. I'll count that as a win. So I know in this one we follow a boy who is a bastard son of a king, and when people find out about him, the king's so ashamed that he abdicates, and then they're like, what the hell are we gonna do with this orphan? So they make him an assassin. The next one's a biggie. So it's The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. So I'm not saying I'm gonna read the whole series. No, that series is like 12 books, something insane. No. But if I could read the first book, I'd be excited. The Wheel of Time is like one of those timeless fantasy series, like one of the first ones that everyone's like losing their minds about. I watched Daniel Green and he's always like on and on and on about it. So I just like figured, you know what, let me just have a little look, see if I like it. I don't know what it's about. I know it's a high fantasy. I assume there's a wheel in this time. The next book is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. So Brandon Sanderson wrote like this whole interconnected universe called Cosmere, and there's like multiple books in different series all connected in this universe. So I read the Mistborn series, or the first 3 books at least, like the first generation of Mistborn, and I want to get into Way of Kings. I've heard really good things. I have it on Audible, so I use my credit on it. It's like 45 hours long, so like, but I have it and I will get to it. I don't really know what it's about. No, I have no clue. I think it's like a whole new magic system, whole new world, but connected to Mistborn, and I don't know what it's about, but I'm really excited. Some friends said it was really good. Why not read it? You know, what's stopping me? So those were 8 if you were counting. So this list is not perfect, but it's kind of it for like the staples of the fantasy genre. And now we're moving into just like 2 fantasy books that I want to read so bad. It's like more of a modern fantasy, and it's more of a unique fantasy, I would say. And it's The Night Circus and Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This book is about 2 magicians fighting for the right to retain power, and they're in a circus. And this one is about a boy who finds a book in the library that talks about his childhood, but like an event that no one knew about, and it's about like portable fantasies. I think Erin Morgenstern apparently has amazing writing, and like I love flowery writing. It's just my jam. I think I will give at least for this one, I believe it will break my soul and become an all-time favorite. Don't know about this one, but I'm still excited. Maybe eventually. No, this year. I will get to it this year. I just keep putting it off because this one's like thick, like really thick, and I'm scared I'm not gonna like it, but I have to like it because I bought it and it's pretty. Okay, I really want to get into more sci-fi, so I thought, why not have a couple of sci-fi choices to like help me dip my toe. I'm not a big sci-fi reader, but I really feel like these will help me ease into the genre and will let me know if I actually like the genre, because maybe I won't like it and I'm just telling myself I will. So first one is actually a graphic novel, and it's Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. So this is a compendium. These are the first 54 volumes. I got this from Nicole and her books, so thank you so much. I don't really know what this is about, except that it's a sci-fi about this interracial couple. But like interracial in terms of like their different alien species and their child, and it's like prohibited or something like that. I don't know much, but I really am excited. I want to get into more graphic novels. I want to get into more sci-fi. I've had this for like almost 2 years now, so I really need to get to it. But like, I think I'm gonna love it. And yeah, I want to read the whole thing, but oh my god, it's so heavy. Next up we have Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Novelle. So I read one of his books called The Test, which is just like a short story, and I loved it. And I don't know, Sleeping Giants just appeals to me. And like, I'm so mad because I saw the first book in the charity shop and it was in perfect condition and I didn't get it, and I don't know why, but like, so annoyed with myself. But I want to read at least the first book. I'm just putting the first book because I don't know if I like it. So the first book goes onto the list. I don't know what it's about. I think it's like a sci-fi where humans find like a really big hand or something, and I assume it's a hand of a giant, but I don't really know anything else. But his other novel, The Test, had such poignant social commentary. I think this one's gonna be no different, and I think I'm gonna eat it up. Next one is American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I don't know why, but I really want to read this book. I haven't seen the show. I want to see the show, but I want to read the book first. And I know this one is just like a contemporary fantasy where all the gods are real from like all the pantheons or something like that. And it's about the gods fighting something like that. I don't know. It sounds cool. I want to get on it. I want to be in the know. I want to see the show. I want to do all the things. So I'm just very looking forward to that one, but it looks cool. And Neil Gaiman's a good writer anyway, and to get into more of his stuff. So the next book is Who Fears Death by Nnedi Okorafor. So I actually read one of her books as well, which is the Binti series, and I really loved it. And this one, it's something like, it's set on like alternative Sudan where rape culture is like accepted or something like, I don't know, just like something about rape. I feel like it's gonna be really heavy, but I know she's a good writer and I'm really excited. I've never even heard about this book till yesterday when I was doing research, but now I really want to read it. Like, I didn't realize she had full-length novels, and now I know. I I really need to read it. Now we're moving on more to like beloved authors by everyone and that I want to get into, or just like authors I want to read more from. So these are not maybe like about the book, but more like the author. First up, I want to finally catch up and read all of Jane Austen's novels. So I've read Pride and Prejudice and Northanger Abbey, and I still have to read Emma, Persuasion, Sense and Sensibility, and Mansfield Park, which I don't have yet, but I have all of her books in these pretty editions. So this is my collection. They're all so beautiful. It's the vintage classics and I love them so much. So like I said, read these bad boys. And I still need to get Mansfield Park. But besides that, we have 3 books. The way I love Pride and Prejudice, I've only read it for the first time last year. And I've never watched the movie properly either. And I've never watched the BBC series before, and I watched the BBC series and I fell in love so much. I wanted to rewatch it right away, and I did. And then I watched the movie, and now I've seen the movie like 4 or 5 times. I rewatched it last night and I was like, I'll just put it on as a background, and I couldn't. I was just like, my eyes were glued to the screen. The artistry is just like amazing, and this book was also so good. I loved it so much. So I think I'm gonna like all of her books, and I'm very excited about continuing with all of those other ones as well. Next up is another classic that I need to read, and it's Jane Eyre by, was it Charlotte Bronte, is it? I've never read Jane Eyre. I know the story. I've seen the BBC drama when I was a kid with my mom. I loved it. One of those classics that I actually want to give a shot. Because not all of the classics I want to read, but that's one of them. And all of Jane Austen's. Like anything she's written, I want it. Okay, now we're going into the books by some authors as well. I don't want to read all of their things, but I want to read something from them. So I really want to read something from Toni Morrison. My best friend like recently read one of her books and she was like, so deserves like all the praise. She's a very prolific writer that I really want to read from. I don't mind which one, although when I was doing research, Beloved is one that came up time and time again, like one of the books that you should really read in your lifetime. I guess I'll go with Beloved. I don't really know what that one's about, like at all, but it sounds fun and I want to give it a shot. That was number 20. We have 5 to go, people, 5 to go. So next up we have 2 books from Octavia E. Butler that I want to read. One is Kindred and one is Parable of the Sower. So I know Kindred is about Black girl who travels back in time, and she gets stuck on this plantation, but turns out that the plantation owner is like one of her ancestors, I think, or like his son is. And then we have Parable of the Sower, where is it like a woman that has healing powers and it's like her diary? I don't know. I don't really know what they're about. I've heard amazing things though. I feel like it's one of those classics I really want to read. I really want to get into, and I want to get those beautiful, beautiful editions when they're like all white and have red on it. I want those. Okay, next I want to read some Murakami. That's the only book I have, which is Sputnik Sweetheart. It's the Polish translation because I borrowed it from my best friend, and I've had it for like 4 years now. So embarrassing. I still haven't read it, and she like asked me to give it back. I forgot. What's wrong with the world? Yeah, so I need to get on it. I need to read one of his books. I don't really mind which one it'll be. I just want to read something by Murakami. Like I said, my best friend is like a really, really big fan. And now we have just 2 books that I don't know, like I feel like I should read. So the first one is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. All I know about this book is sad and depressing and nothing happy happens, and it just makes characters suffer for ages, and I think they're queer characters as well. This one's like a big question mark because I don't really like reading like sad books that are just sad for the sake of being sad, and it feels a little bit like this one's like a light torture porn, but I've heard amazing things and everyone seems to really, really love it, so I think eventually I'll give it a shot. If I feel like I need a good cry, maybe I'll get to it. I don't know why it appeals to me. I don't even know if I want to read it, but I feel like I should. And finally, the 25th book is Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. I don't know if I need to read it, but I love the anime so much. Like the anime movie Howl's Moving Castle. It's just so beautiful. I recently rewatched it. It was just as awesome as it was when I watched it as a kid. A bit less scary because I was very, very scared of it when I was a kid. I want to read it. I feel I want to get into the heads of the characters. Like sometimes I'm confused by their motivations. So I really want to get into it. We follow this main girl, Sophie, who gets entangled with the sorcerer and she gets cursed with being old. That's what the story is about, at least what the movie is about. I don't know anything about it. Oh, and he lives in a moving castle, like he has chicken legs and ghosts. It's very fun. But yeah, I just want to read it. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, well, these are 25 books I want to read before I'm 25. I have a year. Wish me luck. I'll see you in a year's time with an update video. Hopefully. Good luck to me. If you have any books I really want to read before your big birthday, let me know in a comment. I would love to hear. If you read any of these, please let me know if you like them. Do you think I'm gonna love them? Please do let me know. If you're new here, please comment, like, and subscribe. I really want to get, I don't know, it'd be nice to get some views and tabs on my birthday. I don't know. That'd be really nice. So if you want to give me a little gift, maybe share this on Twitter or something, I don't know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!